everyone, thanks so much for joining me. In this same shape study, we're going to be doing a hip opener. Sometimes it's called horse, sometimes it's called sun god or sun goddess. It's just a hip opener, a very efficient one at that. We're doing it upright, on our back, and kind of sort of on the belly. I think not quite in that order, but we will start out standing. You might find it helpful to have a couple of blocks available. So I'm just going to go ahead and step back here on the mat. So the most important thing here is to get those center lines lined up. So when we step the feet apart and you turn out the feet, you want to make sure, okay, that you're not going so far that the toes are pointing out directly toward the sides, because then you'll feel really wobbly. So you need to feel really steady and balanced. So center line of the hip, knee, ankle, middle toes, okay, in a nice seamless channel. Okay, both sides. So that when you root down, you feel all the power come up, okay? So I'm just rooting down, pulling energy up, and then bending the knees a bit more. And I want my knees, just so that my thighs don't fatigue too quickly, I want to stack my knees over my hips. If I go like this, it's not dangerous, okay, at this point, all right? But it is going to be far more fatiguing, okay? And I really want to be able to be in this for a bit, okay? So lining up feet, ankles, knees, hips, rooting across the feet, feeling tall, and drawing the low belly up, the sides, lengthening without it tensing shoulders and neck. So if I bring my hands here, okay, I want to actually engage my legs, glutes, so that the thighs pull away from the hands, okay? Lengthen, smooth, deep breaths, maybe deepen. Again, just breathing, and I like to do different things, okay, with the heels and such, maybe lifting both, okay, but feeling this sense of lift and lightness. It's still going to be fatiguing the thighs. There's nothing wrong with you if your thighs are getting tired, if you have to straighten your legs, take a moment, re-enter, totally fine. You're looking for an opening here in the hips, without it feeling like it's too much. Okay, so some people have a lot of flexibility and their knees will easily wag back. Still try to keep them centered, okay? As things open, I just notice I need to turn out my feet just a little bit more because things are loosening up, opening up. I can find more length that way. I just want to make sure I don't have any disturbance, ankles, knees, hips. I think that's about it. So then, closing. Okay, so this was the upright version of the pose. Next we'll do on the belly. Okay, so I'll meet you there. Okay, so for this variation of the shape, we're going to need to probably put a little extra cushion underneath the knee. So you could always double or triple, okay, no, double fold, okay, the mat so that it's going to be a cushion on the inner area of the knee. I'm on carpet plus my mat, so I don't need a ton of extra support. So still here, as we take the knees out to the sides, okay, we're going to get the most out of the pose if we can line up, okay, the ankles directly below the knees, okay, and you want to do as much as you can, all of your adjusting while you're in this position, the highest part of the position possible, because what we're going to do, okay, simulating this same pose, like if we were standing, okay, we'd be trying to deepen the bend in the knees while getting more length in the spine, and all of that creates space in the hips. So my feet are flexed, okay, I'm really focused, the ankles, knees, hips feel like they're all in line, that I can lengthen the spine without it creating any sort of undue pressure anywhere. I naturally have a lot of mobility in my spine, okay, so I'm not terribly focused here on getting it to be flat or neutral because there's no pinching. Okay, so as long as you have no pinching and you can feel like you get length and space, okay, then you're most likely okay. Okay, so just be really mindful, okay, while you're in this position. So now I'm here and I'm really wishing my knees were a little bit wider apart, and yet it's trickier to adjust mid-pose. But I'm kind of scooching them very, very subtly, okay, and then, okay, finding your right support, your right positioning with the arms. This is the kind of position, though, it's a yin pose, meaning it's less active, okay, as far as what it looks like we're doing. We're still and surrendering, basically. I'm trying to stay really aware, but I don't have much in the way of muscular engagement in this pose. But I'm definitely trying to send my seat that way, toward my heels, between the heels, without losing length in the spine. I sort of have a love-hate relationship with this position. I love it until I don't. And then I really, when I'm on the edge of really wanting to come out of it, then I start to negotiate with myself. I go, okay, how many more breaths do I think I can be here and still get positive benefit? Because this is with a yin pose, okay, with these kinds of poses, the longer you can stay, the more you're going to get out of the position physically, mentally, emotionally. So I'm not trying to get flat. It just so happens that my body is allowing it. But that's because I'm here, okay, for some length of time here and just breathing. And now it feels pretty good. Okay, so when I get to the place of good, then I'm like, okay, well, if I still want to be getting more out of it, can I find my edge of challenge again? And then again go through the cycle of surrender, breathing, negotiation. Okay? So truly, I could be here. I mean, I would probably set some sort of gentle timer, 5 minutes or so, okay? But more important, I want to show you how to exit it, okay, really carefully, because it's anything like this that's super deep, you don't want to exit dramatically, okay? You want to be very subtle about it. So my goal here is actually to get my torso that way and my legs back together. So I'm going to undo the bend, undo the bend, okay, and coming somewhat forward. Now I feel like I can move my legs and I won't create any sort of pain. So it's a very slow, and then I'm going to press back, okay, to either hands and knees, okay, checking in, maybe child's pose, maybe just sitting back on the heels. For the final variation of this same shape, okay, I'm going to go onto my back and have my feet at the wall. So that, it just depends. Everyone is different in what the needs are, okay, but you might want to have a couple of blocks, okay, and I'll show you how to adjust them if they're going to be helpful. So I'm going to put my feet up at the wall, and my bottom is not going to be touching the wall. I'm going to have a similar distance as I would have in every other variation of this, okay? So here I go. So getting fairly close and then putting my feet at the wall, trying to find a sense of evenness, okay? So I can start out with the blocks fairly high. Okay, so if you have really tight hips, you know, allow yourself to be at the highest height, feeling really supported, maybe even tilting, okay? And it's, if I can get it to stay, okay? It feels so nice because there's so much work in the other two, in different kinds of work. When we're upright, there's a lot of muscular work. Okay, when we're our belly, we're trying to surrender to this. Usually, this one is the most comfortable. So, and then gradually, you can, okay, test out to what degree can you lower, okay, your support if you're using it, just to surrender. And you can do whatever feels good with the arms. Okay, I like to go and I guess I didn't unfold that. Different positions here, but this feels so good, okay? So make sure, whatever you're instinct, I'm just moving the blocks a little bit further away, adjusting the feet, okay? You could maybe press and release, press, release, just depending on what feels good. What I was going to say is you want this final position to feel good, to feel nice and easy and, oops, and calming. Okay, as I move my mic by accident. And then to exit this, okay, after I would be in here many more minutes, okay, but assist the legs to come back to the center, okay, carefully rolling to your side, okay, and then moving on to any other position that sounds good. maybe seated meditation. Again, that shape is a wonderful, effective hip opener, depending on the work, okay? It's different based on your relationship to gravity. However, knowing, okay, the shape that you're trying to maintain, the intention, okay, of that shape, all the benefit of the shape can be really informative for each variation of the position. And I hope that that's helpful. I would love to hear from you. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.